Hey y'all, it's Big Weather. I've had a lot of questions today about the tropics and what does it mean for us, and are we going to see a tropical storm or a hurricane? And so I thought I'd take just a moment here and give you a breakdown of that. By the way, don't sleep on the storms that are out there this afternoon. That's the immediate threat. We'll be talking about that all evening long though on the news. Here's what we're looking at as far as the models go. Let's flip the camera around. So here's what we know as of this afternoon. We've got potential tropical cyclone PTC4 could become tropical storm Debby sometime on Sunday. Comes up as a tropical storm, possibly a Category 1 hurricane before making landfall somewhere in the Big Bend area. Now remember, everybody concentrates on the middle line, but it could be anywhere in this cone, so it could end up going up through here. It could go across Florida down here. We'll have to wait and see. You'll notice that the latest from the National Hurricane Center doesn't have it off the coast on Wednesday as a tropical storm with 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. That's the latest from the National Hurricane Center. But let's look at some of the different models. And this is our spaghetti plot. Each line indicates a particular model. And you'll notice that through Monday morning, they all take it up into Florida. But it's after Monday morning that we start to see some of them changing their mind where it goes. This one curls it back. This one keeps it out here and meanders it. Most of them keep it off the coast. And that's why the red line is the National Hurricane Center track. That's why they're keeping it off the coast too. So that's what those models are looking like. Now, I'm going to go to a website over here on my computer. This is called Tropical Tidbits. Tropical Tidbits. It's free. If you want to check it out, you can see what the different models are doing. So this is the American model. This is the one, let me get my pencil back. This is the one showing the rotation and showing that low off our coast. Ironically, the American model has been very consistent with this. It's not usually this consistent this early. So that's been kind of an interesting look. If we look at the European model, notice it does not develop that low. It actually brings it up here and just kind of meanders it around and kills it off. So the European model, which in the past has done better, still keeps it over Florida as just an area of low pressure. And this is by Monday night into Tuesday morning. If we look at the Canadian model, it actually brings it more inland. You can see the American model was out here at the end of my pencil. Canadian model is here. If that happens, that would weaken it a little bit, but it would also draw up a lot of moisture, and it would mean heavier rainfall for us midweek, and we still need the rain, so that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. And then the icon, if we take a look at it real quick, it keeps it, it's kind of a middle of the two. It keeps it down here in Georgia. If we back it up a little bit, you see it crosses Florida, very heavy rainfall, and then it brings it up our coast, and then it just kind of keeps it stuck there for a day or two. So that's one of the outliers, and quite honestly, I try not to get hung up on models because this far out, the errors can be hundreds of miles. So, but right now, the one that's been the most consistent has been the American model, and this is what it looks like. That's my phone, they'll have to wait. This is what it looks like as it moves up the coast. And then quickly out to sea. It does try to develop a second low too down here, which is interesting. Usually this far out, that doesn't happen. But that's what we're watching so far. And then finally, if we look at wave heights real quick, you'll notice the wave heights with this, this based off the American model shows some very high wave heights going into the Outer Banks and Ocracoke. Again, lots of changes on this. We are 5 days out. This could be hundreds of miles either way different. And that's why when we look at the National Hurricane Center cone, I mean, this is several hundred miles across. So it could end up somewhere up in here. And if it ends up in here as an area of low pressure, it's not going to do much. It's going to bring some rain. If it stays out to sea in this part of the cone next Wednesday, it doesn't even affect us other than rip currents. So there you go. That's a quick update on what we're looking at right now. This is bound to change throughout the weekend as we get more model data in, as we get a better idea where this thing is going. Hasn't even really formed a big center of circulation yet. So we like to see that eye and get that tropical storm going to get a much better idea of where the system would head. We'll watch it throughout the weekend. Remember, at this time of year, pick a source you trust. Hopefully it's me and it's your First Alert weather team. It's one of our meteorologists here. I promise you we won't hype it up. But pick one you trust, because you're going to see clickbait on the internet over the next several days saying, big hurricane headed toward North Carolina. They just want you to click on their site. Don't give them the clicks. Find someone you trust, whether it's me or someone else, and stay with them and see how their forecast goes. And if they nail it, then it's a reason to trust them again. hopefully we'll nail it for you here at ABC 11. Have a great weekend out there and stay cool today and tomorrow. Watch out for the thunderstorms. Be safe.